My God. Well, unfortunately, I clicked on this by accident, but I actually do have opinions on this. So, because I was Star Wars Galaxies a long time ago. So when you mentioned that it was looking like Star Wars Galaxies, I actually began to get a little bit more excited about what was to come.
Oh, here we
Yes.
go. Lord of Noobs has been waiting for this for weeks now,
Well, I mean,
maybe years.
There are dozens of you.
maybe a few of us still on all those Star Wars Galaxies uh, servers that are still up. Um, but yeah, no, it's. I was worried because in a lot of other games, crafting is just sort of like gather resource, make item, so long as you have the so long as you have the skill to make said item. But when it becomes like its whole own economy, then you can have people who, like you said, become fully into the crafting profession. And like that's kind of the area that I was interested in because I've always liked that, like, build a base, make things. Friends come out and you want to get set up with good gear, you set them up with good gear, and you still have the like sales to other people sort of thing that keeps you going. And finding new blueprints becomes kind of your game, less than, the like, I'm going to be the best FPS person, or I'm going to be the best space combat person. Like, I'm going to go out and explore and find the best resources to make X or Y or Z. And like, that seems cool. That's it's my jam when it comes to games. So I don't know.
So how
Okay.
can CIG do that? How can they make it its own sort of gameplay loop with its own reward?
That's going to be the really difficult part for them, I think, because some of the discussion I've heard is like, okay, we're going to gate certain materials behind X or Y event, and I get it, I understand it, but like that means that it may not be terrible because that means that crafters are gonna have to exist in large communities at that point, because people who are focused purely on crafting are not going to be the people generally out on the front lines of things. They're going to have to really hammer down on exploration gameplay, because finding new resources through exploration, other things like that, is going to have to be a big part of it. Again, if we go back to Star Wars Galaxies, you had surveying, you had, locating high quality resources on planets. And like, you think about it, we putter around some of these planets to look for nice places, races or other things like that. But like, they're huge. You can't
Mhm.
traverse these easily, even in a ship, while you're flying around them. The ability for players to fully map an entire planet's resources, I mean, in theory, if a guild wanted to, I guess they could, but it would take a concerted effort over months and months and months and months and months, maybe even years, to even just get one planet.
Is
So
it crazy that I want the planets to be bigger?
no, it's not. I think that's a great idea. Make the planets bigger. Fuck it. Make them
Yeah.
full size. Well, I don't know for
Make them as big as you want. Just make sure that
yeah,
there's meaningful things to do on them.
right.
That's
Yeah.
been CIG's mantra. Make it bigger. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Well, with them talking about player cities, I know you remember how it was. I mean, Star Wars Galaxies is pretty much like Star Citizen is not as revolutionary when you really talk about the concept of it being open world with also space combat. I mean, all that was in Galaxies as well.
Yeah.
But like so when you're seeing things like player cities being talked about and how that helps like merchants and economy and everything like that, like I don't know if the uninitiated have seen that work out and how it played out. And just I mean, man, you would find someone's shop that was absolutely amazing, a legendary guy, and you knew like, oh shit, I better bring the money because this is going to be good.
Right. And then also every so often you'd find the shop of some guy who had all of those skills, who was just puttering around with his friends and didn't give a screw what his prices were. And you hid where that shop was, like, viciously, because, he was just doing it for the fun of it. But yeah, no, that's kind of the crux of it. Player cities, other things like that. There was for a while you could have like architects and designers in Galaxies as well. I want to see if anything like that ever comes to or ever comes to Star Citizen,
Oh,
because like,
That'd be wild. Yeah.
how could we, when you're building a player city, how are we going to do city layout? How is an org going to organize their town? Other things like that. I want to know, because when you just leave people to throw their stuff wherever, it gets kind of disorganized very quickly.
can
Right.
I
Yeah.
Debbie down this?
Sure,
Can I?
go for it.
and you can call me Wicket if you want. I think that's where they're going to monetize some of that. I think they're going to have assets. Maybe you can earn
Hmm.
some, and maybe you can do this, but they'll also sell like custom assets.
Oh,
Like
Like
they're
I'm
not.
sure
custom
they
There's
will.
no
building
way they're
aspect.
going to let. Yeah, like buildings,
Mm.
roads, struts, like
Sure.
weird stuff.
But frankly, if what they make money on is selling assets rather than ships later in the game or whatever, fuck it. Excuse me. Sorry, I know I'm streaming. I
It's
shouldn't
okay.
be.
We're extreme.
No, you can do that here.
Oh, sweet. All
Yeah.
right, cool.
Yeah, say it all you want.
Uh,
We're not
cool.
monetized anywhere.
Hooray. Well, I mean, not hooray, but still. Anyway,
No. It's good.
it's good.
We're gonna
Um,
we're gonna sell assets.
we're going to sell assets. There you
Our,
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah.
there's gonna be pictures of our asses.
Actually,
We're gonna
no,
sell
that
JPEGs.
It was in that legal thing you clicked on.
I mean, that
Yeah,
that
dude.
could be an interesting thing if like orgs are able to produce their own branded assets or have like
Yeah.
even community things that eventually get sold. I hate to lean back towards Warframe since it's a very different game, but they did have a community skin store where they would every so often have like approved ones that made its way back into the game, which I thought was kind of a cool process. Will they ever do that here? Probably not. But like if they make their money selling assets, that's not something that's ever going to impact, how people play the game other than its visual presentation. And like it's something that they can continue to make money on because people want their shinies in game. Like, cool. So I
I'd
don't
say
mind
as
that.
as long as it doesn't gate anything. Like
Right.
as long as you can still
Yeah.
build a basic bridge,
Sure.
but you're just buying like the special bridge. You get the
Right.
suspension bridge or something like that. But
You,
as
you
long
know
as they
you,
don't block any gameplay behind that.
you get the as opposed to you getting the like soul system style bridge or the
Right.
Sion bridge or whatever, it's fine. I don't mind if they sell things that are aesthetic choices. If they start selling things where like, oh, you can't get this particular kind of crafting unless you buy this one thing for your org, then that's not great.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't work.
But I could
Yeah.
see them doing because they talked about you're gonna have to pay rent, right? If you're
Hmm.
in like a high security and stuff. I could see it eventually being similar to Eve with their what's it called, Anubis? You can pay real money for it, or you can actually buy it in game.
Oh yeah,
The
the ISK stuff. Well, they've already stated that they were going to be doing that
Yeah,
with selling UEC
no,
once
Hmm.
it
not the
comes out.
UEC. In Eve, you get the what is it, like your pilot license or to actually pay for like your playing time, right? Which I don't want them to do with Star Citizen. This will be different, but in the same general idea, where if you want to have properties, you can work really hard to pay for it with in-game money,
Hmm.
or they'll give you the option to pay for that rental fee with real money.
Uh,
You
you
get
know,
then I was gonna say
that's
then you get onto the crux of like, well, how hard do you make that grind? Is it too
Hmm.
what like are we looking at like Wicklow Idris grind for stupid things? Like,
are we looking in real life rent prices as of right now?
yeah.
Definitely hope not. Well, you said
um,
Between the
another good
RAM and the
thing.
rent, I can't get a break.
yeah, well they would cut off access to that building if you didn't pay all the rent, and then what you'd have to pay it up in order to start using it again. So you still keep the landscape, you just don't have, the usability.
Usability. Well, you said another
Yep.
good thing too, Veritable, which was about the blueprints. So right now in 4.7, when it comes out, a lot of the blueprints are going to be rewards for
Yep.
doing missions. And that to me was kind of worrying in that it goes back to one of those criticisms of Star Citizen, which is everything leads to combat, right? Like I can't just
Eventually.
be a miner or a crafter and just stay peaceful in order to get my blueprints. I'm either going to have to engage in these combat missions or maybe
Mhm.
buy the blueprints from people who are doing those combat missions. Which I guess maybe that one's not as bad, but still, I'd like to see those blueprints um, as rewards for non-combat.
Can I disagree with you here on this and be
No,
controversial before we
I
before we we're
no.
gonna have to go to commercial break very soon, but uh I think it's totally okay to have stuff hidden behind.
You son of a
Like
bitch.
no, because like it makes those missions or those events more valuable. Like when you do an event in Star Citizen and you get the stupid coin, right? That's basically like an NFT. Like
Right.
it has value to you, right? Right? Maybe it'll have some utility later, but right now it has value to you and you have it in your hangar and stuff. But then you get like the gun or the multi-tool. The multi-tool you get from doing the event. It's got a little utility and you got it from the event and it has meaning and it's special to you and you don't want to lose it. Why can't blueprints have the same thing where like you have to do something pretty specific to get it? And maybe you can only do that thing, for these 3 months. And then after those 3 months, you don't get it anymore. Why can't we apply that same logic to mission types? There's one that you have to do combat for, but there's one that you have to do mining for.
As long as there's a mix, I think that's fine. That was my
Yeah.
concern, was that it seems like it's going to be all combat.
Well, it's all jump towns all the way down.
It's all jump town. It's true. At the end of the day.
Yeah. Vertible Hatter, you are more than welcome to stay on the couch. You could leave. You could stay on the couch. You could do as you like. The couch does get bigger, but it is about time we bring on our next guest. But before we do that, Vertible, this show is sponsored by Cruise Lux. Cruise Lux is a refreshing yellow drink that you can drink while you play soccer or basketball or what's the sport in Star Citizen, guys?
Scatterball.
Scatterball or scatterball.
Scatterball.
Reese's Squares.
But
Wrong
also,
show.
what if you're throwing up? What if you ate some bad sushi or got the neurovirus and you're vomiting everywhere? What could refresh you and give you electrolytes? Cruise Lux. Give no fucks. Cruise Lux.
20% slam by volume.